Emily had always believed that love could survive anything. She thought her marriage was proof of that. 10 years with Mark, her college sweetheart, a man she'd once sworn she couldn't live without. They had built a home together, shared Sunday morning coffees, and created the kind of life her friends envied. But lately, those mornings had grown silent. Mark's eyes were more often on his phone than on her. Work consumed him, and when it didn't, exhaustion did. Somewhere between promotions, late-night emails, and endless business trips, Emily's laughter had stopped mattering to him. It was on one of those evenings, when loneliness pressed on her chest like a weight she couldn't lift, that David walked back into her life. David wasn't a stranger. He'd been Mark's best friend since high school, practically part of the family. He was the one who always showed up at backyard barbecues with his easy smile and jokes that made everyone laugh. But lately, he had been around more, checking in while Mark was away on yet another trip. At first, Emily welcomed the company. It was nice not to eat dinner alone, to have someone ask her about her day and actually listen. That evening, she sat on the couch, a glass of red wine in hand, her shoulders aching from stress. David noticed, his brow furrowing as he sank into the chair across from her. "You look tense," he said softly. Emily gave a tired smile. "I guess that's what happens when you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders." David leaned forward, his tone playful but gentle. "I happen to be an expert at fixing tense shoulders. Want me to prove it?" She laughed at first, brushing it off. "You? Since when are you a masseuse?" "Since I had to help my mom with her bad back in college. Learned a few tricks." "Come on, it's just a massage." Totally innocent. His smile was disarming, warm, almost boyish. Emily hesitated. She knew this was one of those moments where a choice mattered. But the loneliness inside her whispered louder than her conscience. She turned and let him move behind the couch. The first touch of his hand startled her, not because it was improper, but because it was careful. Gentle. He wasn't rushing, wasn't distracted. He pressed into the knots in her shoulders with patience, listening to the way she sighed when he hit the right spot. Mark hadn't touched her like this in months, maybe years. "Wow," she murmured, half closing her eyes. "That actually feels amazing." David chuckled lowly. "Told you I had skills." Minutes passed in silence, broken only by her soft breaths and his quiet concentration. But the longer it went on, the harder it became to ignore the warmth radiating between them. His hands lingered, not inappropriately, but long enough to make her heartbeat quicken. She tried to convince herself it was nothing. Just stress relief. Just kindness. But when his fingertips brushed her neck, she shivered. And when he leaned in slightly to ask, "Better?" His voice low and close to her ear, her chest tightened in a way she hadn't felt in years. She swallowed, forcing a smile. "Yes. Much better. Thank you, David." He didn't move right away. She felt the weight of his pause, the air thick with something unspoken. Then, slowly, he pulled back, returning to his seat as though nothing had happened. But Emily knew. Something had shifted. And as she sat there, sipping her wine with trembling hands, she realized she wasn't just longing for her husband anymore. She was longing for something Mark no longer gave her: attention, tenderness, connection. And dangerously, David had given her a glimpse of it in the span of a few stolen minutes. Please like and subscribe my channel for more romantic videos.